Hi everyone. The camera just shut off, and which was really weird because there should have been plenty of memory, but it did shut off. So I'm going to catch you up on this read here. In the central energy, we've got a main female calling judgment. Okay, she's challenged by shining a light on souls, okay, on souls that are looking for new love, young love. So she's looking at the hearts of people who are coming into union, and she's making sure that there's pure intention. And the reason that I say this, yeah, somebody's really concerned about this. The reason that I say this is because, well, I'll let you know as soon as I patch you through into this. So she's calling judgment on new love, and there's somebody here who's concerned, and they're all up in their thoughts. They're trying to get into her head. They want to get in her head about love. She's recently won a victory. She's gained a victory, and she's got her chariot, and she's moving forward into her things. The expectation is that there's this somebody here in a Queen of Swords energy reversed. They're cruel, they're bitter, they're bitchy, they're insincere, intolerant, and narrow-minded. They're deceitful, and they're overly emotional right now. So we've got a star here. The star is this main female, where she's got a spiritual fortune. She's a rejuvenator. She can heal people, places, and things. This she's calling judgment on somebody, and they're in a tower. This man here, he's concerned. These two men, they're concerned. They're trying to mess with their mind. They're in a tower. So what's happening right now is these folks are they're in a hate filled mental body right now, and they're trying to gaslight you. What these people are, star, are those people who tried to destroy you, and they've been cut off. You've gained a victory over them, and they've been cut off, and you're moving forward. You're calling judgment on them. They're in the middle of a tower, and so what they're doing is they're sending this I hate you energy. I want you. I will see you destroyed energy. They hate you. So they want to send that hate energy to you. They need you to roll with it. When that thought form comes into your head, they need you to roll with it. They need you to think of them and wish destruction upon them. They need you to hate them. And not only that, but they need you to lump in the divine masculine or feminine with that category and hate everybody. Because they want your divine masculine feminine to see you as a hateful, sour-hearted bitch, okay? And they want them to reject you because you're bipolar or whatever. But the thing is it's their energy. So as soon as you recognize, because you're a star, you're a healer, you're emotionally balanced, you're all of that. As soon as you can recognize this hate, and it will be hate. Actual words of hate and destruction will flow through your mind. And at first you may find yourself like the love will shut down. It's like the love kind of shuts down, and this deadness kind of comes over it. This mental magic. It's weird. And then all of a sudden this hate speech starts flowing through the mind, and it really feels, because the heart space, so whatever this mental magic is, it's affecting the heart space too. These people want you to feel what they're feeling. They want you to claim the energy as your own. They want you to spew it out into the world and condemn them, so that you then become responsible for the judgment that has been called on them. As a star, you will be responsible for healing that. If you accept it as your own, you will be responsible for healing it. The funny thing about it is that you're the one calling judgment. You're the one causing this tower for them. So just know that this hate that is coming at you is because they've been cut off. They've been cut off. They no longer have access to your energy. You're the healing star. They're in a tower because you're not there to heal them. You're not there to pour out your spiritual fortune on them. Okay? So they're losing it. And they're restricted in the mental body. And they're just hate, right? But you're coming into this Ace of Pentacles. It's an abundant, you've manifested an abundant opportunity, a new venture, a prosperous new venture. And they're here in the environment looking at this. And they're so mad because the hope is that this Ace of Pentacles, it's going to turn into stability, wealth, security, a Ten of Pentacles, a home, a family, domestic harmony. And they're watching all this happen from their tower moment, and they are hating you, and they're hating you, and they're putting that into your head. You may have or may have not noticed it. If you're not noticing it in the mental body, you're noticing it in the energy. It's in the heart space, in the heart chakra, and in the throat chakra. If you're talking about love, if you're loving, they want to shut it all down. They don't want you to love. They don't want you to speak loving thoughts. They want you to condemn. They want you to hate. They want you to speak words of destruction. And that's the truth. That's the truth. They're bringing conflict. Because you got this Ace of Pentacles, which is turning into a Ten of Pentacles. You're a star. You're the main female, and you're calling judgment on them. You're shining a light on their soul. You can see exactly who they are. When they come in and they want a love union, you can see whether they're going to mind F somebody or whether they're actually want to have a partnership. You can see it. You can see the truth of it. And they're in a Ten of Swords. They're in a tower. Judgment is called. They're in a tower. They're in a Ten of Swords, and they're in an Eight of Swords. So they're mentally restricted, and this is a very painful ending for them. So because this is such a painful ending for them, they're spewing hate and destruction onto you. They're experiencing hate and destruction, and they think it's your fault because you're calling judgment on them. What you're doing is you're sending back to them everything that they had gifted you. All of those nasty presents of hate and mental disturbance and whatever else that they did to you. This overly emotional, deceitful, narrow-minded, bitter and cruel, bitchy, cold-hearted influence that they had over your life. They don't have that over your life anymore, and they're angry. So they're spewing the words, right? Word magic and energy, magnetized with their energy, this hate. They're spewing it, and they're putting it into your mental body. But they're in a destruct mode, so it's chaos. It's not clear. See? So alrighty then. So here we are. They're in your thoughts. They're trying to put negative thought forms of hate and destruction into your mind because you're calling judgment, and they hate you for it. And you're not angry. You're not doing this out of anger. You're not filled with hate. You're not filled with I want to destroy you. This isn't where you're coming from. It's about giving back what doesn't belong to you. It's about entering a new phase where they can't stomp all over you and crap all over you and make you eat shit. You're their freaking recycling toilet, I mean, they treated you like a toilet, and they're really mad because they're not able to treat you like a toilet anymore. You called judgment on them and you cut them off, and they're in a tower, and you're not there to fix it. So they're really mad, and they're hating you right now. So when this comes through your mind, Recognize it right away, because the sooner you recognize it, the sooner it will start to dissipate. The sooner you recognize it for what it is, that it's not your thought forms, this isn't your energy, it belongs to these ones who are in a tower and who don't have access to your star qualities anymore. Okay? So you are expecting here in the recent past, you've got expectations, lovers. So you're expecting your lover going on a journey. You're expecting your lover or expecting your mate, your partner here. And then you've got this deceitful, bitchy person up there. They're your expectation is that they will not tolerate this well. They're going to go on a journey, or you're going to go on a journey. Yeah, that you're going on a journey, because that's here with the Chariot card. Maybe everybody's going on a journey. Everybody's going on their own little ways. You know, you're going to go one way, they'll go another way, whatever. They're mad because they're not on your train. They're not on your train. They're on their own train. They're making their journey and you're making your journey with your lover here. You're the star. You have a spiritual fortune. You have the gift of healing and rejuvenation, healing and renewal for yourself and for others. These ones have crapped all over you. You're not in poverty anymore. You're going to get what is rightfully yours. They're in a tower, having a sudden insight. Having a sudden insight. Wealthy man, family room. Wealthy man doing something in a family room. They're in a tower. Yeah, they're doing something in a family room. They're doing mental magic, and they're trying to steal your love away, so that it looks like you're a destroyer. But you're not a destroyer. You're simply calling judgment on somebody who tried to destroy you. They're bound. They're mentally restricted. They're having a lot of negative thoughts about your new venture, your prosperity. They're having a lot of negative thoughts, and they're trying to put that on you. It's so important to remember that you're a transmitter receiver. So often the negative thoughts that go flowing through our mind aren't ours. They're the environment's. It's the environment. It's a collective field, okay? Your neighbor could be beating his wife, or maybe, their dog got killed, or whatever. I mean, something's going on and you're picking up on that, right? It will affect you, especially if this jackwagon is in the family room having a tower moment and trying to put that on you. You will feel it. So you have a courtship, and you are an Ace of Pentacles, a financial opportunity of prosperity, and this person is having so much negative emotion and thought about this, and they're focused, they're laser focused on you. So you could really be feeling it right now. They know that your Ace of Pentacles is going to lead to a Ten of Pentacles. You're going to have success, stability, domestic love. You're going to have a nice home. You're going to be able to contribute to the environment. You're going to be able to share the wealth. This thief who's having so many negative thoughts, they're doing toil and labor. They want, so you're having a Ten of Pentacles on the distant horizons. That's what that's going to turn into for you. But this thief has a hope of doing work, toil and labor, to take that away from you. That's their hope. So you're coming into a Ten of Pentacles. You got your Ace of Pentacles coming into a Ten of Pentacles on the distant horizons. A wish come true. Domestic happiness. This conflict, this clashing of petty egos, there's mental clarity around it. You know the truth. You know the truth of it. They're in the courthouse. They're in the courthouse for bringing all this fighting, and the truth is out. The truth is out about this mature woman regarding this sudden wealth and the house, and she's in bad health. Your pathway is open. It's a high honor pathway. And it looks like this mature man and this main male got some things going on right now. Main male has got this gift and a marriage on his mind. He's this main male thief. I mean, mature man thief. He's in trouble. He's in trouble with this main male because he's been effing around with his future wife. Bringing a whole bunch of hate and stuff to her mind, trying to put this on her, but it's theirs. It belongs to them. Collective energy, please, Spirit. Collective energy. Collective energy, please, Spirit. Collective energy. Somebody said earlier, I was mentioning how volatile the energy seemed, and two people actually said this over the last few days. They said the same thing. They said that it's the death throes. The same verbiage. Two people. I don't quite know what that means, but it means a tower. It means a tower, and they're mad, and they're dumping that energy into. They're like screaming, and I mean, it's like a screaming, like a rage energy. So I was advised to check it and let it go right away, just kind of like what I'm doing here. When these thought forms come through your mind, check them and recognize them, that they're not yours. And don't let them live there. And if they do, just watch them, but don't attach to them with your own energy. Don't attach your own energy to them because it's not yours. So it's weird, and even though you may say you hate this or you hate that, the one of the things about it is words are words. Frequency is frequency. Okay, so they're coming in, they're trying to affect the frequency of your heart, and they're trying to implant words. So, yeah, just recognize it. People are gossiping about this. This person is all messed up. They're messed up, man. People are talking about it. You're shining a light on people's souls. They're very concerned. They're trying to ping you in your mind. They're trying to affect your thoughts. Yeah, because they're detached. They're concerned because they're getting detached. They're getting let go. They're getting cut off. There's no love in them. There's no love in their soul. So if people are coming forward to make a new love opportunity or a new love offer, there's got to be love in the soul. There's got to be love in the soul, in the heart. So this magic might be coming and trying to artificially strip the love vibe from your heart chakra. You might feel it as like an emptiness, like a dead, kind of like all pleasure like disappears. It's the magic, and it's at an all-time high right now because they're all suffering towers. They want forgiveness, but they only want forgiveness so they can continue messing with you. They want forgiveness. They want this new love, but there's no love in them. They only want you to clean up their shit. Okay? They're going to continue spewing out shit because that's what they are. They haven't done any of the inner work. They're overly emotional, bitchy, narrow-minded, cold-hearted, and cruel. They don't have any love in them. Sorry there, boy. Yeah. Unappreciated. They didn't appreciate you. and you're moving on down the road, and they're moving on down the road. You're going your separate ways. You're going your separate ways. They feel unappreciated. You've got a new soul tie here, and they're so mad. Or maybe they're bound to something. This cold-hearted, narrow-minded, cruel person. Maybe they're bound to something. They're bound to something. They're not bound to you. They're bound to something, though. They're having a tower. You're not in poverty. You, somebody wants to have a conversation with you. This is a new chapter. No more poverty for you, Star. They're feeling broken about this. You're moving on. They're all broken. They're broke because you're not in poverty. They're broke because you have love, and they're in a tower. They're doing something in a family room to try to affect your heart chakra and your mental body. From the ego. They're in a place of ego. They're full of pride. They think that whatever they're doing in a family room, they think that they can affect your future and dump this tower onto you, the tower that belongs to them. They think that they can dump it onto you. They've got a lot of negative thoughts about your courtship. They sabotaged themselves. Isn't it funny how the saboteur blames you for sabotaging yourself because they're such an a-hole and they hurt you and stuff, and they say they're hurting you and it's your fault? But they're the actual ones that sabotage their own selves by being an extreme jerk, by choosing to be that kind of an individual. They sabotage themselves. They don't get a courtship. They don't get a prosperous new venture. They're feeling overwhelmed by your 10 of Pentacles and your wish come true. They're in the courthouse over this competition and rivalry right now. The truth is out. The truth is out. Their values were all about money. They weren't about love. Their values were all about money. They needed this star. They needed this spiritual fortune that belongs to this star. Their values were all about money. And your values are all about family. They didn't give two shits about family. But you did, and you took good care of them. And now you don't have to anymore, because it's over. Now you don't have to anymore. It's over. But they're going to try to mess with your mind and make you feel as though you're still connected. They're going to try to force their way into your mental body and into your energy. And they're going to try to make you feel as though it's a helpless and hopeless situation that you'll forever be bound to them. But it's a lie. It's a lie. You're here in the recent past. You've gained a victory. You've got this love. You're expecting love, and you've got a soul tie. So you've got a partner already. This could be in the ethers. You're already with somebody. And they feel unappreciated. This cruel person feels unappreciated because they don't get to go on your journey. They're on a different path. They chose a different path. Even though they were connected to you, they chose to behave differently. And they were on a different path. It's weird how you can be in the same arena as somebody else, but having two completely different mindsets and ways of being. You're on two completely different paths. And so this is like the timeline shift. It's like everybody who's on these paths, like they chose a path of money. They chose a path of material wealth and extravagance and probably girlfriends and whatever, boyfriends, however you want to say it. Infidelity. Their soul stinks. They bullied you. They're gossiping because the bully is calling the one who was bullied is calling judgment. They bullied this main female and she's calling judgment on them. She's detaching them. She's like disconnecting from them. They're very concerned. She's shining a light on their soul. She's shining a light on their soul. And they're concerned. They're sick. They're weak. They're fragile. They've been detached. They've been cut off from this star. They're sick. They're weak. They're fragile. She's no longer healing them. She no longer has to share her gifts with them. They're asking for forgiveness. They're messing with her mind. They're doing something in this family room out of ego to mess with her mind. They're still messing with her mind, bullying her. They're trying to get her to love them. They're probably doing sex magic and shit. So they're bribing people. They're probably doing sex magic. They got to be careful. They're in danger. They're in danger for effing around with this main female, this star. They're in danger because they tried to absorb the essence and energy of this star. They thought that if they could unalive this star and absorb the essence and vitality of the star, that they would become the star. They don't care about this star in the slightest. They thought that they were going to be the star by literally stealing the vitality of this star. But you gained a victory. You won. And you're coming into a new relationship. Hopefully somebody who won't want to unalive you and absorb you. Somebody sees you as a high value person. This lover sees you as a high value person. You've gained a victory over this. And a soul tie. A new soul tie. A vow. With spirit. You're not in poverty. This is a new chapter. Somebody wants to have a conversation with you. You are a star. And this, whoever these masculines are, they feel shattered about this situation. They're in a tower and you're not there to clean it up. You're not there to clean it up for them. They're having to face the energies that they've been drumming up in this family room out of their ego. Whatever, they're in danger with this accident card here. They're bribing people. They're tempting people. Stubborn, nutty. They're stubborn, they're nutty, they're in their ego. They're still doing magic in the family room to mess with the mental body of this main female. They're bullying her still. She's coming into a courtship and an Ace of Pentacles with somebody else. They're trying to sabotage her by mentally restricting her is what they're trying to do. They're trying to sabotage this main female's courtship and Ace of Pentacles by sabotaging her and mentally restricting her. So they're trying to put hate in your mind and in your heart regarding your kingdom spouse. They want you to recognize your kingdom spouse as this piece of shit whore, bitch, witch, warlock, whatever the F you want to call them. Worthless, valueless piece of dung. There's no value. You're coming into an adventure, travel, passion. They want to sabotage you. They want to put you in a victim mentality. They want you to reject the opposite sex. Yeah. You're having sweet dreams though. So you're going to have sweet dreams. You're coming into a wish come true at 10 of Pentacles. Sweet dreams. This thief is overwhelmed. They're mentally disturbed. They want to offload that onto you. They're mentally disturbed right now and they're trying desperately to put that onto you. They're trying desperately to sabotage your union by putting mental disturbances onto you. It could be affecting you. It most likely is. It's powerful. Their values are all about money. They're in the courthouse right now over this fighting, and the truth is being out. The truth is out. The truth is out. They were trying to separate you from your love, from, or maybe they separated from you. They didn't want anything to do with you. They were in an illusion and a fantasy. They're going to be stopped. They're daydreaming about being you, about absorbing your life force, vitality. This son of a bitch, mother humper. He wanted to crawl into your skin suit and be you. He wanted to be you, Star. You're getting a new family tree. You're coming into a reward for persevering through this bullshit. And it really is, the possibility that this mental attitude resides in others is very real. And you may be completely done with dealing with people like this. You may have been dealing with people like this for over 5 decades. You may have been bullied for over 5 decades, brutally. And it's still going on. And they want you to blame the divine for their actions. And the only thing that may cause you to do that is fear. Fear. So if you are finding yourself to lump sum categorize people, you need to get into your own mental body and ask yourself, where is the fear? Where is the fear and what is driving this thought form? And you got to pluck the fear out. You got to tackle it. Because if you don't, these ones will continue to trigger you and your hidden fears, and they will continue to manipulate you. Shadow work is so incredibly important. You got to recognize what's happening, and then you got to get in there and you got to eliminate the triggers and the fears so that they can't use them against you. Just like sexuality, a lot of times, if you're celibate, sometimes they'll come into your dream state and they'll use that root chakra, sacral energy, and they'll use your sexual energy against you. Sometimes you got to drain it off. You got to drain it off so that they can't come in and manipulate it. So you got to manage your own energy flow. I'm not saying you got to get all nasty and stuff. I'm saying if there is a temptation or any kind of excess or like that that's making you vulnerable to manipulations of that sort, you need to manage your own energy so that these jackwagons can't come in and manipulate it for their own gain and use. This has happened years and years ago because they were coming in and they were like getting into the dream state, and they cause you to masturbate, or you get a dream lover or something. And it's just the intention of draining the root and sacral chakra energy. It's an energy harvest is what that is. And they do that in the dream state. And so when they come in and they do that kind of a thing, it's like I used to get so effing mad. And so I found out that, periodically, because the energy builds up, and if you're celibate, the energy still builds up. And periodically you have to, it's like letting off the steam. You got to let the steam off. Otherwise, these mofos will come in and work it up and get it to pop. And so you can't let them have that authority. You have to command your energy fields in all of their areas. The room. So they're bullying the mind. This is my card. The room is the card for the mind. They were bullying the main female in the mind, and they still are. And she's calling judgment on this. They're being detached. They could be ill. They're very concerned. She's shining a light on their soul. They've got the mental disturbances that they were putting on her. It was returned. The Most High returned it to this thief. So he's a soldier fighting against love, fighting against stars, fighting against healing and renewal, fighting against health and calm and balance. This person is in her mind. He's trying to mess with their mind. Oh, forgive me. So he wants her to hate everybody else, but he wants her to forgive him. He or she, do what you need to do with the genders. They need to see a doctor. They're sick. They're sick in the freaking head. And they want to come in and get a new love relationship, and that's because they want to offload their mental disturbances. They want to offload this tower onto the star. You've gained a victory over them. They need to see a doctor. You are a high value person. You're getting a letter. You're expecting a lover. You got a letter. You're expecting your lover. You're expecting your lover. You've gotten news. They're on their way. You've got a soul tie. You've got a vow. You're constant. You're consistent. Even when these ones put hate into your mind and into your heart, and they try to drain your love and put in hate, and even though you may spend 20, 30 minutes in this hate, spewing it and rejecting everybody, and like you just don't want to have anything to do with anybody, you want to just destroy, everything and everyone. Well, that's not you. You are consistently high value. You are consistently loved. As soon as the magic wears off, or as soon as you become aware of it, and you're like, oh, well, that's what that is. Okay, this is what this is. This is what this heartache is. It's the magic. They're trying to extract love and put in hate. They want you to seem inconsistent. If you aren't consistent, if you get all catty-wonky and start acting bipolar and stuff, then it makes it easier for the mask wearer to be as you, because they don't have to be sweet all the time. They can actually be an asshole. If they can make you be an asshole sometimes, then it becomes more difficult to tell who's who. But the thing about it is that you're constant. You're consistent. If you do get all catty-wonky and start doing that, you know that it's this, and it doesn't last long. It comes on, and it's like, rawr! And your soul tie knows this because he's been watching and evaluating, and he knows, and especially if you're making aware of it and you're telepathically connected, and you can feel it, and you can say, oh my gosh, they're stealing the love out of me. They're stealing the love out of me. So you're talking to yourself about the process. It's like, where did my love go? What's going on? I've got this hate in my mind. Where is this coming from? And then you can work it out. And if you're working it out in your mind, then those who you are telepathically connected to can see your process of moving through that magic, that energy, that attack. And they can see you come back to your state of love and renewal. You've renewed yourself. As soon as you have awareness of there's a magic attack, a mental attack, a heart attack, like a heart-body attack, they're trying to attack your chakra, your energy of love. As soon as you recognize that is happening, you can heal it. You recognize it's happening, you recognize that you're in attack, and then you can send loving energy to it. You can write a list of gratitude, all the things that you're grateful for, and then all of a sudden that energy will just lift. But you have to be aware of it first. It's critical. Merchant. They're broken. They're broken because this star has a new chapter. Somebody wants to have a conversation with her. She's not in poverty. This merchant is feeling broken, or somebody's feeling shattered about this situation, because the merchant's here waiting for this star energy. They were supposed to capture this soul, and the merchant's waiting for their cut, but they failed, and now they're in a tower. And they're stubborn, all up in their ego, doing magic in the family room, trying to lay this tower on you, trying to make you responsible for it, trying to make you heal it, trying to make you make it okay. They're still trying to trap you in a darker, hate-filled energy so that you can look like maybe you don't deserve a kingdom spouse. It's a service. This person is offering a service. Or maybe they are paying for a service in a family room to do something magically against your mind, to sabotage you, to restrict you. They want to sabotage your kingdom spouse union. They want to sabotage your spouse and you. But you've got this adventure here. Your passion. They want to sabotage your passion. You're the gift. And they've received a message, or they want to send a message. They need consolation. You're getting a message. They're getting a message. They sabotage themselves. They need consolation. They sabotage themselves. Because I think whatever magic they're doing, it's instant backfiring. It's instant backfiring. They want to sabotage this union, but it's like, so the energy, it lasts, for me, it lasted maybe 20 minutes. And then it was another maybe 20 minutes before I recognized it for what it was. And then I was really able to put it to rest and share with you. So this wealthy man is mentally disturbed. They're feeling overwhelmed. They're a thief. They're a thief. They're not even a wealthy man. They're a thief. They're a sick, demented, twisted thief. You're having sweet dreams. You're coming into a 10 of Pentacles. You're going to, you and your partner are going to build something really good with this gift. Yeah, this thief, they have no hope. They have no hope. They've been separated. Their job was to separate stars from their divine kingdom spouse. That's their job. They're still working on it. They're still trying to do it. They're still trying to affect your mind in a way that will get you to never trust the opposite sex again, or anybody. They want to cause you such a heartbreak and remind you of all the shatterings, all the brokenness, all the infidelities, all of the pain. They want you to remember that, and they want you to reject your kingdom spouse because they weren't able to take you out, and you're coming into your kingdom union. And they want you to reject your kingdom spouse because they need you. They need your wealth. But they're being stopped. They're being stopped. You've got a friend in the courthouse telling the truth about this competition. There's a friend in the courthouse telling the truth about this competition. Their values are all about money. They were trying to separate you from your kingdom spouse, and they were in some sort of a weird fantasy illusion, and they're being stopped. You're coming into the house. These false people are facing death and misfortune. You're going to have a good time with love. Going to have a good time with love. He may be a widower, faithful, This servant is in despair. Whoever was going to sell this star's energy to this merchant, they're in despair. They didn't get it. So just clear your mind. If you have a heart cramp or any heart cramping, I can suggest that you put tourmaline or selenite. So yeah, so you can put tourmaline in your bra, or you can just lay down with tourmaline, or I have a big slab of selenite that I sometimes put over the heart space. It will clear up any of the energetic sin energy that's coming at your heart space. Women are kind of lucky because we have a bra. We can put a piece of tourmaline in our bra, and then that will capture any of that negative energy that's coming in trying to attack our heart space. Remember to drink your water, because the water will, as you replace the waters of the body, the water holds memory. So if they pump in thought forms or any kind of a negative energy into your body, into your system, the water will hold that. So in order to clear that out, you need to flush the waters out and then replace the waters. Okay? So that's my 2 bits for now, and I'll see you on the next one, everybody.